Hello everyone, Simster Marissa is here again bringing you another tutorial, and today's tutorial is going to be how to create makeup for your Sims. So the first couple programs you will need is Sims 4 Studio, of course, to create your custom content, and you're also going to want Photoshop or a photo program that works with layers, and I will show you why in just a second. Now the third thing you're going to need are these body texture files. Body textures for Sims look like this. They look super weird, they look super creepy, but this is how you're going to create your makeup looks. I will put these down in the description for you to download. We have male, female, child, and toddler. Today we're going to be working with the female texture, and as you can see, I already have it open in Photoshop. Again, these look really weird, really creepy, but this is what's going to help us with our makeup. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and give her a full face of makeup. Now what's really cool about this is all you're really doing is putting the color over this layer. So if you wanted to recolor her whole face, just her nose, her ears, her lips, anything you could honestly do and make her really hilarious, or just do some pretty neat looks. So when you open your texture in Photoshop or your photo program, you want to go ahead and create another layer. And the reason for this is when we save our body texture to go into Sims 4 Studio, the background here is not going to be visible. The Sims 4 Studio needs a transparent file in order to put the makeup over it and make it kind of an overlay on the skin. So we're just going to go ahead and make a really quick makeup look. A couple tips for your makeup look: when you go to use your either your brush tool or your paint bucket tool or anything, you want to make sure the opacity is not at 100. You could have it at 100 if you're searching for that really vibrant look, but as you can see, when you put it at 100, it really doesn't look too realistic. So my tip is for that to kind of mess around with the opacity just a little bit and see where you like to have it. I usually have it between like 20 and 30s. That's kind of just my safe option for opacity. And then I obviously resize my brush, pick the right brush to use, whether I want a hard brush, a soft brush. With me, I like the soft brushes. So as you can see, I'm just kind of testing what I like and don't like. And I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that for her eyes. And like I said, I'm really not, digging really deep into how I want this to look. I'm kind of just doing this for the tutorial. So there's her eyeshadow. You can also give her some like eyelashes sort of thing. Just obviously be very careful. Sometimes it can look super unrealistic. I haven't quite gotten down how to do this correctly to where it looks good yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and try this. I'm going to warn you, it's obviously not going to look good. You can give her little wings even up here, like a smoky eye look. You can give her little eyelashes if you're good at that kind of thing. And you can also actually recolor the eyebrows. I really usually don't do that, but I'm going to recolor them a weird blonde color, just because that'd be my color. So I'm going to up the opacity just a little bit on the eyebrows, make the brush just a little bit smaller, and then we are going to make her really weird, you guys. So we're just going to make her look really weird. This looks more a little bit like green than blonde, but that's okay. This is how I look, so we'll make her look like me. And God knows I look weird. So that looks pretty good as far as coverage. So we're going to go ahead and also give her some blush. Now you can create different layers for this. I actually recommend that if you're doing this for the first time, in case you need to make any kind of changes to like what you're doing as far as makeup wise, but I just keep mine on the same layer usually because I know what I want and I can always undo it if it doesn't look correct. Okay, we did our blush, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our lips. Now there are two ways you can do the lips. One way is you can just pick a color and go ahead and just mess with the opacity again and kind of just color over her lips like this, which is usually what I do because I can usually aim pretty well with the brush tool. However, if you don't want to do that, what you can do is you can use one of your select tools, which is also sometimes what I do, and select around the lip area. This is just a crude selection, obviously, and make sure you're coloring in the right thing. So the lips are pretty much done. I don't really mess a lot with the lips. Sometimes I'll give it more of a shine. And if you want your, if you think your makeup looks a little too sharp maybe on the edges, so let's say you think that your blush over here has too much of a sharp edge. In Photoshop, they have what is called the blur tool, or you can do also the smudge tool. But I do the blur tool a lot. And what this does is it kind of helps me make it look more realistic. And so if I blur this into her skin, it's going to make it look a lot more realistic on her skin. And again, since we're on the top layer, it's not going to mess with the texture. It's just going to mess with our makeup. So, this makes it look just a little bit more realistic on her face. I actually like to do this a lot. And the eyebrows. So we're going to go ahead and do this with the eyeshadow as well. We're not going to mess with the eyebrows. But as you can see, it just makes it look like it's more blended on her, sort of. Alright. A little more natural anyway, except for the eyebrows, of course. Now, just to kind of show you what else you can do, these are the eyes. Unless you want to mess with the eyes, I will not do that. This is the back of her head right here, and then down here would be the neck. Right here is right at the bottom of her neck, and then right here, I believe, is right near her chest, and then down here we have torso down in case you want to give her maybe, I don't know if you want to give her a tattoo. I think I'm going to try to give her a tattoo as well and see how it looks on her back. So I'm going to go ahead and select black, and I think we're just going to do maybe a smiley face. Make sure the opacity is at 100 where I want it to be, and I think we're just going to go ahead and create a smiley face once I can get the... Oh, okay, that is creepy. Let me go back real quick. Opacity 100. Put this down a little bit, and then we're just gonna do a really creepy, weird smiley face. It looks better with the actual smiley. The eyes looked really creepy. But we're gonna go ahead and do that and see how that turns out. You can do the same thing with the arms, the legs, really anything you want. Again, you'd have to probably practice with it if it's your first time. I'm still practicing, honestly, because I can't get some of the things completely right. So we're going to see down here. I think right down here is like the bottom of her neck. So I'm going to go ahead and see. I'm going to draw like a cross right here maybe. It's more like a plus sign, but that's okay. And then down here, I'm going to make a little neck tattoo. So this will be the front of her neck. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to make her a little cut. Like she's got... Okay, so I think that I'm done messing with her now. Her eyebrows look horrible, but you know what? That's okay. So you're going to want to go ahead and make the background invisible. So all you're going to see is your little drawings, your makeup, and if your makeup looks transparent, that's okay. It's supposed to, unless you have your opacity high like we did down here. So this is what it's supposed to look like. And with having your background invisible, we're going to go up to File, Save As, make sure it is a PNG image, and then we are just going to save it as female template. You can name it whatever you want, it really doesn't matter as long as you can find it again. We are going to go into Sims 4 Studio, and since we did female makeup, we're going into female, adult, and part type. Now, part type, you can pick whatever you want. Usually I pick eyeliner, eyebrows, pretty much anything, but eyeliner is really easy to use, just because you can pick something that's really thin, and we'll just pick this one. It looks like the most normal one anyway, so we're gonna name it Female Test. I actually did this earlier. I messed up a little bit though. So we're gonna zoom in on our female's face, and then all you're gonna do is hit import, and you're gonna find that PNG file that you saved. And when you open it, as you can see, her makeup will be down on her face. So again, the eyebrows were awful. But again, you can see we have our eyeshadow right here. We have our blush. We have our lipstick that we did, and then we kind of messed up on the tattoo just a little bit on the front anyway. So that cut kind of just looks like it's a weird CC issue, but it's not. We have our cross right here, and then on our back we actually do have our smiley face on the back. So we gave her a tattoo, which is pretty cool on the back. But honestly, that's pretty easy. I think this is a pretty easy process. I think it sounds daunting to a lot of people, but honestly, it's really not. I mean, if I can do it, I think anyone can do it. But I hope this tutorial helped you like it helped me, and I hope you are able to make some really cool looks with your Sims. I do have a Twitch and a Twitter, so I will leave those links down in the description if you would like to follow me and check me out on those. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you with the next one.